Hey guys, so in today's video, I wanted to talk to you about some things you can do to advocate for yourself as someone who has a disability or has any type of chronic illness. If you see me looking down, I do have my phone right in front of me with some notes on it, just so that I don't miss anything that I wanted to make sure that I covered. So, advocating for yourself, just to start this off a little bit, if you have a chronic illness or a disability, it means that you are making sure that you're receiving the best level of care, the highest quality of care, the best support, and any accommodations that you might need. While you're also making sure that you're protecting your well being. So, number one would be to educate yourself on your condition, treatment options, and any rights that you might have. Stay updated on new research, new medications, and any lifestyle changes that might help you. Another one would be to make sure that you're communicating clearly with any healthcare providers that you may interact with. So that is making sure that you are preparing for appointments by writing down any symptoms that you've been having, any questions that you have been having, and any concerns that you might have. So be honest about the symptoms that you have been dealing with and the ways that they affect your daily life. And if you feel dismissed by any healthcare provider, don't hesitate to seek out a second, third, fourth, however many opinions that you need. I know that lately there has been, at least on TikTok, I've seen multiple creators who have created like a medical binder. I'm actually considering doing this because I feel like it would make it a lot more easy to deal with medical appointments, because I've been feeling so burnt out lately with all of the medical appointments and different specialty providers that I have been dealing with. I just feel like it would be easier to just have all of my medical information right there in front of me so that I can just hand it to the provider, let them read the information that they want to read or want to know about, and I feel like it would just be easier. So the next thing would be to know your legal rights. Understand workplace accommodations like the ADA, Americans with Disabilities Act, if you are in the United States. You can also research disability benefits, insurance coverage, and know your patient rights. And if this is applicable to you, request reasonable accommodations at work or at school. I just want to let you know, if you are a college student, they also have accommodations available for college students, or they should. They are supposed to. I don't know if that will change under the current administration, just because of how everything is kind of changing right now. But currently, as of the day that I'm filming this, there are protections for college students who have learning disabilities or physical disabilities. So just make sure that you know your legal rights and use your legal rights if you need to. So the next point would be to set boundaries and prioritize your health. So this is something that I have really struggled with, and I think I've mentioned this in multiple videos. Learn to say no when it's necessary. I have had a problem saying no for multiple years of my life. It's just something that I have always had a problem with. It is important to know when you're reaching those limits. If you are getting tired, you need to rest. You need to make sure that you are taking care of yourself properly. Engaging in self-care is something so important. And you need to learn not to overextend yourself. Make sure that you're getting the rest that you need, because you need to be able to rest and recover. If you need to say no or cancel plans, then you need to say no or cancel plans. You need to do what is best for yourself and your health, because at the end of the day, you know your body and you know it best. And like I said, if you need to cancel those plans or change plans, then that's what you need to do. Advocate for yourself in personal relationships by learning how to communicate your needs. It's very important to, with your family, your significant other, or even with your therapists or healthcare providers, recognize what you need and don't be afraid to let people know that that is what you need. It's very, very, very important. And kind of going along with that is finding a support system. There are plenty of online or in-person support groups that deal with multiple different health conditions and or disabilities. Make sure that you build a support system for yourself, because it's going to be very important at the end of the day that you have people you can reach out to who understand what it is that you're going through and are there to help you. Um, if you need to lean on your family, friends, or even patient advocacy organizations, then that is what you need to do. Whatever it is that is going to help you at the end of the day, that is what you need to be concerned about. And the next tip would be to keep detailed records. That kind of goes along with writing down your symptoms, things like that, having it available for your provider when you go to these appointments, and that kind of goes along with the same thing as doing like a detailed medical binder. And if you guys are curious, I am probably going to make one. So if you would like, I can walk you through the detailed steps as I am making it. If you have a journal or an app tracking your symptoms, medications, and any treatments that you're currently going through or doing, those can be helpful so that if you're seeing a new provider or you need to see somebody else, a different specialist for a different condition or anything, they can already know what it is that you're being treated with or how you're being treated. Keeping copies of your test results, doctor's notes, and insurance communications is also important. That kind of goes along with the medical binder as well, because it just keeps everything organized so that other providers know exactly what's being done for you, like I said. And then the last tip that I have would be to speak up and be persistent. Don't be afraid to ask any questions or challenge any decisions that don't feel right to you. If you feel that you are not getting the care that you need, speak up for yourself. You have to advocate for yourself. There are so many healthcare providers that I have seen who don't understand a condition that I have had, and I have had to speak up for myself multiple times, or else I wouldn't have gotten the care that I deserve and that I need. So you have to make sure that you're not afraid to ask those questions and speak up for yourself. Keep advocating even if you face resistance from healthcare providers, because your health matters. This is so important. You are not going to get the care that you deserve if you encounter a healthcare provider who doesn't want to do a certain treatment, or doesn't think that you need a certain medication, or doesn't understand or isn't willing to hear what you want to say, or doesn't feel like you're being honest about the symptoms that you're having. Track them over time. That's why it's so important to track your symptoms, so then you can lay out at every appointment, this is what I've been dealing with. This is what I've been dealing with. I dealt with it on this date, this date, this date, this date. If you keep those detailed records, they have more of a difficult time saying, no, you don't, no, you don't, no, you don't. Please, I think the biggest thing is to look after your own mental health and be persistent when it comes to things like this, because it's so important. And I know that there is a lot of stigma with certain conditions, but you have to speak up for yourself and you have to be persistent, because you are your number one best advocate. But if you need help, don't be afraid to reach out. There are actual patient advocacy services who can help you advocate for yourself. If you feel like you're still not being heard, even after you've spoken up for yourself. So you can research what is in your area. Just search for patient advocacy, I don't know, in my area, or patient advocacy in your zip code or whatever. So yeah, that is it for today's video. If you guys have any questions or comments, leave them in the comments below. And if you guys have any topics you would like me to address in the future on a video on my channel, let me know that as well. I'd be glad to get something filmed for you. And with that being said, that's all I have for today. So I hope you guys are having a wonderful day, and I will talk to you guys in my next video.